What if your mind could bend, but never break? What if every setback, every betrayal, every moment of pain was not a wound, but a weapon, forged quietly inside you, shaping something stronger than fear? Most people think mental strength means never falling apart, but that's a lie. True mental strength isn't about staying untouched. It's about what you become after you've been broken. The strongest minds don't avoid pain. They use it. They don't run from struggle. They study it. They don't drown in emotion. They learn to breathe beneath it. When life hits, they don't ask, why me? They ask, what now? Because pain is not the enemy. It's the instructor. And the truth is this: no one is born unbreakable. It's something you build, brick by brick, thought by thought, habit by habit. In this story, we'll explore 10 habits that make you mentally unbreakable. Not invincible, not emotionless, but centered. The kind of strength that stays calm in chaos, grounded in confusion, and focused in fear. Because your mind can be your prison or your power. And the difference is in what you practice every day. Most people think weakness shows itself in big moments, in breakdowns, in tears, in the nights you can't sleep. But that's not where it begins. It starts much smaller. In the quiet ways you let your focus slip, in the times you avoid discomfort, in the lies you tell yourself just to feel safe. Every day your mind faces hundreds of tiny tests, and with each one you make a choice to train your strength or feed your fragility. Most people don't even notice when they're breaking. They call it rest or self-care or taking it easy. But what they're really doing is stepping away from their edge, the exact place where growth happens. That's how the trap forms. You start thinking resilience means feeling good. You start believing peace means comfort. But real peace doesn't come from avoiding chaos. It comes from being untouched by it. The human mind isn't built to be soft. It's built to adapt. Every challenge, every setback, every rejection, it's all data, all information. The question isn't whether life will test you. It's whether you'll use those tests as training. Most people break because they live reactively. They let emotion decide action, comfort decide effort, fear decide boundaries. They don't realize they're building fragility, one easy choice at a time. But here's the part no one tells you. Strength isn't found in the big moments. It's found in the daily rituals that no one sees. Because mental resilience isn't built during the storm. It's built in the calm before it. Mental strength isn't about pretending to be fine when everything is falling apart. It's about building habits that keep you centered when the world tries to pull you off balance. These habits don't shout, they whisper. They don't look impressive from the outside, but over time, they rewire the way you think, react, and recover. The first habit of the mentally unbreakable is self-talk. Not the empty kind of "I'm strong," but the disciplined way of speaking to yourself that shapes reality. When they fail, they don't spiral into blame. They study what happened. They learn, adjust, and move forward. They talk to themselves the way a strategist speaks during battle, calm, focused, and analytical. The second habit is making discomfort familiar. Most people avoid pain. The unbreakable invite it in. They train their body and mind to coexist with difficulty, to see challenge as a signal of growth rather than danger. Because when discomfort becomes normal, fear loses its edge. The third habit is protecting energy. They know that every reaction, every argument, every distraction is a leak in their focus. They don't try to win every fight. They conserve energy for the ones that matter. This kind of restraint isn't weakness. It's precision. The fourth habit is emotional regulation. They feel everything but are ruled by nothing. Anger, sadness, frustration. They don't suppress these emotions. They study them. They ask, what is this emotion trying to tell me? That question transforms chaos into clarity. The fifth habit is keeping promises to themselves. Every time you say you'll do something and don't, your mind records that betrayal. The mentally strong rebuild trust through action. They follow through, not to impress others, but to prove to themselves that their word carries weight. The sixth habit is strategic solitude. They understand that peace isn't found in noise, but in silence. They use solitude not to escape the world, but to understand it, to recharge, to think clearly, to return stronger. The seventh habit is detachment from outcome. They focus on what they can control: effort, consistency, intention. They understand that results are external, but discipline is internal, and that's where true freedom lies. The eighth habit is training the body as the foundation for the mind. Physical stability creates psychological stability. A strong body tells the brain, I am safe, I am capable, I am ready. The mind listens to the body more than we realize. The ninth habit is reflection instead of comparison. They don't measure their worth against others because comparison is noise. They look inward asking, what did I learn today that makes me stronger tomorrow? That question keeps the focus on progress, not competition. And the 10th habit, the one that transforms every other, is finding meaning in adversity. Pain without meaning breaks you. Pain with meaning builds you. The unbreakable don't run from what hurts. They extract lessons from it, turning every wound into wisdom and every failure into framework. That's how suffering becomes strength. Each of these habits might look small on the surface, but together they create a mental structure that nothing can destroy. Because when your habits are strong, life can shake you, but it can't move you. And then take a moment and think about how you've handled pressure. When things fell apart, did you reach for distractions or did you face the silence? Did you try to control what you couldn't or did you breathe and let the storm pass through you? It's easy to say you want to be strong until life asks you to prove it. Most people don't realize that strength isn't revealed in victories. It's revealed in how you hold yourself when nothing is working. When everything feels uncertain, that's when your habits start speaking for you. Maybe you've noticed how your mind reacts to stress, how quickly it tells stories, how easily it looks for someone to blame, how desperately it wants to escape discomfort. That's not failure. That's programming. Your brain is wired to protect you from pain. But when you train it to stand still instead of run, that's when growth begins. Have you ever noticed the voice that appears when you make a mistake? The one that whispers you're not enough, that you always mess things up? That voice isn't truth, it's memory. The echo of every time you broke a promise to yourself, every time you gave up too early, every time you chose comfort over discipline. The beauty is, you can rewrite it. Every small act of consistency, every moment you stay calm when it would be easier to react, teaches your mind a new language. You start to trust yourself again. You start to realize that strength doesn't come from what you do when you feel powerful. It comes from what you do when you feel weak. So ask yourself, which habits are shaping you right now? Are they building walls or foundations? Are they protecting your peace or feeding your excuses? Because every day you're either training resilience or surrendering it. Strength doesn't come from what you know. It comes from what you repeat. You don't need to change your whole life to become unbreakable. You just need to change the things you do every single day. Pick one habit, just one, and commit to it like it's sacred. Because when you repeat one act of strength long enough, it rewires the way your mind interprets challenge. Start small. Wake up and do something difficult before the world asks anything of you. It could be a cold shower, a run, a few minutes of deep silence. It doesn't matter. What matters is that you prove to yourself before the day even begins that you can do what's hard. When you feel overwhelmed, don't escape it. Observe it. Ask yourself, what exactly am I feeling? What is this trying to teach me? That question shifts you from emotion to awareness. And awareness is where control begins. Stop waiting for motivation to arrive. Motivation is a guest that rarely shows up on time. Discipline is the habit that lives with you forever. Discipline doesn't ask if you feel ready. It just asks if you're willing. When you fail, and you will, don't dramatize it. Don't make it mean more than it does. Failure is not a verdict, it's feedback. Strong minds collect data, not guilt. They learn, they adjust, and they move. And perhaps most importantly, protect your inner environment. Don't let everyone have access to your energy. Your peace is not a public space. The world will constantly try to pull you into reaction, to drain your focus, to make you forget who you are. Your job is to stay still in that noise. Calm, deliberate, aware. Because when you control your habits, you control your mind. And when you control your mind, life stops feeling like something that happens to you and starts becoming something you shape with intent. One day you'll look back and realize that everything that tried to break you was actually building you. Every disappointment was a lesson in patience. Every rejection was a reminder to rely on yourself. Every ending was an invitation to rebuild stronger. You won't remember the exact words people said to you or the moments when doubt felt unbearable. You'll remember the mornings you got up anyway, the nights you stayed calm when panic whispered in your ear, the days you acted out of principle instead of emotion. That's what unbreakable looks like. Quiet, steady, consistent. Because mental strength isn't fire. It's stone. It doesn't burn fast and bright. It forms slowly under pressure until nothing can crack it. When life hits, you won't crumble. You'll shift. You'll adapt. You'll breathe through it. Because your strength no longer depends on what happens around you. It depends on who you've become inside. And that's the secret. The unbreakable mind isn't hard. It's flexible. It bends so it doesn't snap. It listens more than it reacts. It feels deeply but moves with intention. The storms will come again. They always do. But this time you'll meet them differently. Not with fear, not with desperation, but with a quiet certainty. You've been here before, and you'll know that no matter what happens, no matter who leaves, what fails, or what changes, you will not break. Protect your mind. Understand their game.